listening. You won't be a hero. Be the last man standing.
What's up, everyone? Mitchell Saltzman here at EVO 2023, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Guilty Gear Strive Season 3. So first off, can I get you guys to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ken Miyauchi, Guilty Gear producer.
Akira Katano, development director of Guilty Gear Strive.
So the big new thing is that you guys are announcing Season 3 with Johnny as the first character. First of all, this is a character that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time. Can you talk a little bit about why you guys waited for Season 3 for Johnny to make his appearance?
So basically, we know that Johnny is a representative character of Guilty Gear series, and we wanted to include him in faster in the roster, but we weren't able to. So I feel very sorry for the fans for keeping them waiting. But since we know that it is a very popular character, and he's actually one of the characters that represents the series, we felt that there's no place better than EVO to actually announce that character.
We've been also done a lot of character polls in the past, and he's one of the top character on almost all region. So really, we are happy to announce him at EVO this time.
So Johnny is a character with a lot of mechanics and unique mechanics. Can you talk a little bit about how those mechanics have stayed the same or changed in Guilty Gear Strive?
The biggest part of the system isn't unchanged. He's a character with a Japanese sword, and he gets to strike characters in a distance in a very swift way. That doesn't change. However, one of the core mechanics that Johnny had before was throwing a coin at the opponent and leveling up the misfiner skill. But however, this time we've actually changed the skill into dealing cards instead of coins. And if we get to actually hit that card with Misfinder, you get to have additional hit.
So Johnny, I think, was notoriously one of the strongest characters in Rev 2. How do you approach balancing him in Strive, knowing that kind of legacy that he has? Do you kind of want to make sure he's still strong, or do you want to kind of tone him down a little bit?
So, to be very honest, we're not really, thinking about, as a fighting game character, we're not thinking about how strong he is or not. We're not really putting a focus on that. But however, we know that one of his charm is being a very, very swift and very charming character, and being strong is part of it. And, with that in mind, we tend to, appeal that kind of charm in that character, and we definitely want to put that into consideration when we approach developing the character Johnny.
One thing I tell our battle team when designing Johnny is to make sure that he is fun playing in Guilty Gear Strive, not like from the previous title. So I'm hoping that a lot of players, when they get in touch, when the hands-on playing him, will find a lot of new fan with the character playing in as a Guilty Gear Strive Johnny.
Moving on from Johnny for just a second, Insta-Kills are a big part of the Guilty Gear series. I've noticed that they're not part of the Season 3 roadmap. Are Insta-Kills something that are still interesting for you guys in Guilty Gear Strive, or have you kind of moved on from that mechanic?
Obviously, it's been on the discussion among the development staff as well. So it is obviously one of the biggest topics we have right now within the company. But unfortunately, we are not able to discuss further in that part. But know that it is on discussion. With that said, we have other mechanisms that actually provides some kind of charm to the character when how the characters will react to what characters use to react to the insta-kill skills. We have other we have other implementations that kind of resembles that kind of reactions. For example, for Johnny, we have a very small something that is included in one of his skills that kind of resembles that kind of insta-kill reactions among characters. So you can look forward to that as well.
Two other things that you're adding are two new mechanics. Can you just describe what each of them does and how they change up the core mechanics of Strive?
はい、2つの新システ
First
ム
things first, both of the systems actually use burst gauge. So the offensive skill that offensive system that we've included is the Wild Assault. It is a lunging skill for all the characters that will provide a devastating attack to the enemies. But the type of the Wild Assault is actually varies from character to character. How we approach this is how players would actually play the character. So it kind of differs by character and character. So you can actually have a look in the game, have a look at the system by character. Yeah, there are 3 types in total. So you can definitely use that by using some of the burst gauge. And also for the defensive technique, we have Deflect Shield, which actually push backs the enemy, and also deflects projectiles from the enemy. So it could be used as one of the escape route that wasn't available before. However, both of the systems use this burst gauge, which is very valuable in terms of Guilty Gear, which is a very offensive game. So strategic use of those systems is actually required, unless it will actually cause a terrible a mistake to actually receive heavy damage. So players will have to use the techniques wisely.
So when some players hear that there's another way of using burst gauge, I think a lot of people questions about like how to control use of burst gauge. I'll just say that I'll let people figure out exactly, but just letting you know that the way of the burst gauge meter gain also changes in Season 3 Battle Balance update. So including all that, I think a lot of players can experience a new way of using burst gauge.
And does the previous way of using burst still exist also, of just doing the regular burst that gets enemies away from you that you can use to get out of combos?
Yes, the burst gauge, the previous burst still exists, and it actually is enhanced a little more. So there is always a situation that you might want to save it for your blue burst or maybe gold burst, or sometimes you want to switch your strategy to use it for your defense or the offense. So that kind of decision making is going to be a part of the game plan. One thing that you can enjoy and use Strive changes.
Then final question, a bunch of characters are getting new moves. Can you talk a little bit about what special moves are being added to what characters? I know there's probably a lot of them, just maybe a couple of your favorites.
ですね。今回はまあ一部
Just to be clear, we're adding new skills to a couple of selected characters. One of the biggest changes, I guess, in terms of changing, adding new skill to the character would be Faust. So if you remember, Faust is known for his skill pulling out random objects out of his pocket, and we have added this ability for him to keep one of his objects before pulling it out. So that has never been available to Faust in the past series titles. So that's something that's going to change the gameplay for him, and players can look forward to that.
So this time we only add special moves to 6 characters of initial 15 roster characters, but we do also plan to add special moves to other characters who didn't get the chance to get a new special move this time throughout the Season 3 updates. So don't lose your hope yet.
And we've also been joined by Kenta Asano, the lead 2D artist of Guilty Gear Strive, to answer some questions about the kind of visual design of Johnny. So I guess the question that I have to ask is, how did you approach designing Johnny and kind of reimagining his look for Strive compared to previous looks in Exard and other versions of Guilty Gear?
今回のジョニーの
So obviously, from Exard or Rev 2, generally nothing much big has changed. But however, we have new objects and new projectiles and new objects that Johnny held within the game. So that's something we have put much more focus on to design and live up to Johnny's character.
I know there's new stages coming with season 3 as well. Can you talk a little bit about the design of those stages and where you got the ideas for them?
So yeah, we do plan to add 2 more stages in Season Pass 3, and obviously we don't have any information to share share right now yet, but they're both in development, and as far as I see what's going on in the dev team, I'm really excited to reveal that soon, but yeah, that's all I can say right now.
Final question. There's a lot of really great 2D art in Guilty Gear Strive. Are there any characters or interactions or facial expressions that you really enjoyed working on over the course of Strive?
Yeah, obviously, I really like Soul Bad Guy from the series, and when I work on Soul Bad Guy stuff, I always have some special, mindset when I actually work on him.
Big fan of when he gets hit by Faust's ultimate. He gets hit in the shin by Faust's overdrive. All right, well, that is everything you need to know about Season 3 of Guilty Gear Strive. Thank you guys so much for your time, and for everything else, keep it here on IGN.